1073 Casey's R&B and Hip Hop. My name is Evanie. We got a special guest. We are in the presence of royalty. Miss Monique is in the building. We all want people to clap. Come on, let's hear it.
Kansas City. Hey, my sweet babies. Hey, my Gates barbecue. Let me tell
Talk
you
about
something.
it.
Yes.
And I don't eat meat no more.
Oh, you don't?
No, ma'am. I don't eat nothing with a face.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Are you still
I'm
having
back.
fun,
Buddy,
though?
stop looking at me like that when I say I don't eat nothing with a face, because if it got a face, it got parents. You see what I'm saying? Imagine a dinosaur just eating your ass. And then
It happened, though. It happened back in the day.
Can you imagine that?
But the Lord put these animals
But now
on this
listen,
earth
now
for us to indulge.
Now
No,
let
he
me
did
tell you
not.
something.
Who told you that? Who told you the Lord put the animals here for us to indulge in? Who told you that?
I don't know, but it
Now, what
sounds
church you
right.
go to?
It sounds
Because
right.
I already talked to that pastor that done lied up to you. Who told
Now
you
here's
that?
the thing. Monique does not eat meat. Now, I am a meatitarian. I don't eat vegetables because I don't eat anything with a head, like a head of lettuce. Like, lettuce is a head. And why are you eating people's heads?
Hold on.
Anything with a head.
Introduce yourself. I introduced
Yeah,
you.
you're right, because she was finna jump right in and jump on the meatitarians, and we're not going to do that. Kansas City, my name is Corey Bell, and I'll be sharing the stage with Monique this weekend.
Welcome, Miss Corey.
Thank you.
And she eats people's children.
And you eat heads.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I'm going to own it. Sometimes people don't want to own if they're a head eater.
Yeah.
I'm a head eater.
Are you a head eater?
Yes.
So Monique, I know that you like the Gates sauce, though. So how do you indulge in the Gates sauce if you don't eat the meat?
Let me tell you how I indulge in Gates sauce. You can get you some fried mushrooms, and you can dip them mushrooms in that sauce, baby. It's just like you eating a piece of chicken. You get you some oyster mushrooms, and you fry them up just like you would do a piece of chicken, and you do it the same way.
So was it hard to let the meat go?
I'm not going to lie to you, baby. That chicken, it was talking to me sometimes.
What it say,
The
friend?
chicken say, you going to leave us like that? We done been good to you. We done traveled with you. We done walked off stage with you. We done been up in the hotel room with you 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when nobody answered your call. You know how you put out back in the day.
You put the call out?
Back in the day, you put a little gentleman caller feeler out. You see what I'm saying? From city to city.
So, but did you feel left out though with the whole Popeyes chicken craze?
Oh, heck, baby, you get ready to make me sick. No, indeed, baby. No, indeed.
No?
No, indeed. I couldn't understand why we were carrying on like that over a piece of corporate chicken.
That
when
is
you could
true.
have went to your grandmama's to Lulu's kitchen, and that piece of chicken was going to be far better. So when our community went crazy over a corporate piece of chicken that none of us gonna benefit from, that is what blew my mind. That's the part that made me say, are we really carrying on like this, y'all? All I gotta do is add some damn watermelon. Then it might get real different now.
Right.
If they just put
Some
a slice
watermelon
of
and some
watermelon,
Kool-Aid.
what we gonna do? So
Yeah.
no, I was disheartened to see
Okay.
our community perform like that over a corporate. And I gotta keep saying it, a corporate piece of chicken, which means it's processed, which means it's coming out of a bag, which means was it really loved up on? But if you go to your grandmama's house,
That's
and she got
true.
on that house coat and them slippers, where
Yes.
the toes is cut up out of them now because her feet done swole up from the sugar.
From the sugar.
fat
When she get
So
up
are
in
you
that
super
kitchen.
healthy now? Like you're just all about like, you know, the vegetables and you just do everything organic?
Well, here's what's puzzling. That you would look at me with a puzzled face to say, are you super healthy now? Well, I've asked the universe to give me at least 100 years. And the universe said, what are you willing to give back? Because oftentimes we'll have our list of ask, but we don't have our list of give. So for me to get 100 years, me eating meat is not going to let me get there. Me
Okay.
eating flesh is not going to help me get there. And I ain't judging nobody to do. Let me be clear about that. But I just had to do what I had to do for me because I want to get there with my husband. And I want to meet my babies. And I want all my parts to work when I'm 99 years old.
Are you still like eating sugar though, desserts, or have you cut that out or?
Not white sugar. I do
Okay.
agave.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can still put that in cake though? Can it bake right?
Listen, this child.
Look, I'm a foodie. I'm all about my food, so I want to know
Oh,
how this works. Because I've thought about
Yes.
being vegan. I've thought about cutting out sugar, but I can't do it because I love the food too much.
Research it. Research vegan desserts. Just do your research and your homework.
And I'm going to tell you this. Now, again, I am the complete opposite. Again, I'm a meatitarian. But because I hung out with her for 7 months consecutively in Las Vegas, when in Rome, you have to do what the Romans do. And she would introduce me to stuff, and I'm like, I'm not eating that. But then she tricked me. One day she said, you want some nachos? And she brought me the nachos with the cheese, and it had the green onions and the sour cream. And as I was and the meat, the ground, and as I was eating it, she was giggling. And I said, "What's so funny?" She said, "That's all vegan." And I said, "No, it's not." Now,
And it was delicious?
It was amazing. And then that night, we had lasagna.
And it was
with the
vegan
meat.
too.
Listen, and I'm fooled. Now, here's the thing. I like meat, period. You can't trick me. I was fooled. And then,
Come on.
this is the part. This is the part right here.
Take it home.
She introduced us to these pies that this brother made that's a friend of hers. And when I tell you, I'm like, this is the best sweet potato pie I have ever had. And then when they told me it wasn't sweet potato pie and that there was no sugar in it and that it was completely vegan, I'm not going to lie. I can't lie to you. I tried to take it home. The whole thing. I would have never known. So I think it's the lack of knowledge that we have. Because
Meat make you stink.
Well, now wait a minute. Now.
Look, and there was
Take
one
all of
stinky
the
lady
nice
by me
things.
at the gym this morning letting it rip. She must have been eating a whole bunch of meat.
Bacon.
Make you stink.
It don't
You gotta ask
make
yourself
you
this question.
stink.
And again, guys, I ain't no health guru, so let me be clear about it. It's just things I've researched. Imagine eating something that when they killed it, it was scared. So what gets released into their bodies?
Yeah,
what
fear.
What do they let
Yeah,
go?
yeah.
So now when you see our young babies acting a damn fool, well, it's because of what we're eating. All this medication now is due to what we're eating. So when I have a beautiful black woman sitting in front of me, then I'm old enough to be your mama. And when you say, for real, you do that? Well, my mother left a double amputee. And my father left with CPOD. And my aunt, like everybody that left with diseases that could have been prevented. So when I'm talking to my community, I'm passionate about it because I'm seeing the devastation that's running through our community because we're not knowledgeable about what we're eating. And people say, well, Monique, to eat healthy is expensive. Well, listen, either you pay now, you pay later.
That's very true.
You want 20 pills and 20
Preach.
medications? Do you not want all your parts to work when your man tap you on the shoulder and that right leg can't get as far back as it used to? What you want to do with it? What you want to do with it? When you don't eat right, you can't mouth hug properly.
Huh?
Oh, my
Because your neck is
goodness.
stiff.
Come on now.
And your neck can't be stiff when you give a proper
nobody
mouth
want a
hug.
mouth hug with dirty breath. Don't nobody.
Okay, Monique.
Ask your nephews.
No, I don't want to ask them that, Monique. Monique, okay, so Jillian Michael, the trainer Jillian Michael, changing the subject, she was under a lot of fire for talking about Lizzo and saying that people were praising her body. And I just, and a lot of people came for her for that because they're like, it's cool that Lizzo is, you know, a thick woman and we're praising her for being a full-figured woman, but it's not going to be cool when she gets diabetes along the way. What do you think about that? Do you think that we shouldn't praise people for, I mean, we are who we are, you know, with, you know, different body types, but it's just.
There was a, and first let me say, I think Lizzo is absolutely amazing. Let me say that. There was a guy that did the show with Julia Michaels one time. I can't remember his name. Black guy. He was like the sergeant.
Yeah.
Remember that cat? He was real.
I think
like,
so.
In the face. Well, he had did an interview, and in the interview he said, Monique is a train wreck waiting to happen. And this is when I was at my heaviest. I was 300 pounds, right? And I was like, who does he think he is? And blah, blah. And I was really, and my husband said, but he's not lying. He's not lying. You're 300 pounds plus. What do you think is going to happen to the inside of your body if you keep going that way? So oftentimes we get offended at the truth. I think, let me say again, my sister Lizzo is beautiful. However, we want to be big, healthy women. That's all I'm trying to do. So with Lizzo, we don't know if Lizzo is taking care of her health or not. Just because she's a big woman doesn't mean she's unhealthy.
Right.
Because there's some size 2s and 4s that are unhealthy.
True.
So we can't just assume that. We
Yes.
can't just say, oh, she's just unhealthy because she's a big girl. We're big boned it.
Right.
My head is big, damn it. My shoulders is wide. I'm always be a big woman, but I want to be a big healthy woman. So before we jump on Julian, before we get mad, we got to say, is she telling the truth? Is it what we really need to hear? Because again, in our community, and let's come off of Lizzo, just in our community, I'm seeing young girls 20 years old, 300 plus. I'm seeing babies in middle school that it's hard for them to get up the steps. And again, I'm not judging. It's just saying, guys, if we don't save us, who will?
So Monique is saying, stay on those New Year's resolutions. Do you make New Year's resolutions?
No, I don't.
No?
Because New Year's Day is every day. If I wake up in it, it's a new day. For me, when you start saying, I'm going to just wait for this one day and make a decision, well, stop tricking your damn self.
Yeah.
But if you say every day I'm going to try to give it the best I can give it, then watch what happens. And again, for those of you in relationships, you got to consider your partner. I do not want to be a burden to my husband due to self-neglect. I don't want him having to clean my behind simply for self-neglect. I don't want that. Now, I can't help if a truck bust me up on the way. You know, I'm crossing the street, pow, pow, pow. I can't help that. But I don't want to be a burden because I could help it, but I just didn't consider what the repercussions would be to my family if I didn't.
Do you still make those? I know that you do those dancing videos where you're working out.
What?
Do you still do them?
I just did one for Carnival.
You did?
Yes, ma'am, baby. I'm moving and shake. Let me tell you something.
Tell her.
I choreograph Lizzo dances, but don't nobody want to give me the
They're
credit.
not going to give you the
I
credit.
choreograph Cardi B. Who thanked me for that?
Look,
I
before the
choreographed
vibranium-
Beyonce, J-Lo, all of them. But don't nobody want to give me my propers. Okay? Bam, bam, bam. That's me.
Don't hit him. Don't
Did
hit
you
him
see
on
me
him
hit
3
him with
times
that?
real hard.
All right, then.
Look, before Megan Thee Stallion with her
Sugar, honey,
vibranium
iced
knees, because I don't know how low she can. I just don't understand how she can drop it that low. Monique, you were doing it before her.
And don't
And did she
nobody want to
give
give
you
it
the
to me.
credit?
Okay, they didn't give me the credit. I can drop it right now.
Yeah,
Let's
was
take it back
Monique-
to the BET Awards when you wore that little blue outfit when you're doing the dance.
Hello.
Take it to them.
Look,
Take it to them.
Megan Thee Stallion. What happened to Monique the Clydesdale? You did it. Boom. Drop it down. Pick it back up. Give it to her.
Right, baby.
You
They
did
don't-
it.
they
I
don't
want to
give me
give
my
it. I
propers.
know, friend.
But I'm proud of those young girls. I'm sorry, those young ladies. I'm proud of any sister that is courageous enough to live in her dream.
Yes.
That includes Lizzo. That includes Julian Michaels. Because some people could say, hey, Julian, back down with the man energy. Back down, you're being too hard and strong. But look what it did for her. So we can't knock what people are doing because you don't know what they're doing. And until she has a conversation with Lizzo. So you got to have the conversation and ask, what you doing, baby girl, before we start making judgments. That's all I'm saying.
And I think for me, on the flip side of that, with Lizzo, she's a big, beautiful woman, and they don't want her to be big, bold, out, celebrating herself. They feel like if you're 300 pounds or 400 pounds or however many pounds, that you should be humble and quiet and say, you should be me. And she's like, this is me. This is who I am. I'm happy. According to her, I'm healthy. And it's like, oh, you can't celebrate that. And it's like, why not? Why can't I celebrate my happiness? Why can't I celebrate how hard I work? Why can't I flaunt what just because you don't think it's beautiful? There are millions of people who also celebrate it. So for me, it's like, how dare you tell her how to be happy? Because you don't know whether she's healthy or not. And she very well, just because she's big, like Monique said, I was also 300 pounds at one time. And I was a Lizzo. I was out, I had my heels on, I was flaunting it. I didn't care, but I didn't feel good.
And she got big boom booms.
Yeah.
When you got all that weight and you got big boom booms,
What?
my God.
What?
It's a
wouldn't know
lot.
what to do with all of that. I work out. Let me just tell you something, Corey.
What?
I forget that we talking to hold.
Okay, well,
Me and my baby girl be at the gym.
right.
I'm on Tell It, right?
Tell It.
And certain exercises, she got big boom booms.
She
So
can't.
I be like, you not getting down right. To the trainer had to say, hey, she's got about 40 pounds in
More,
front of her.
yeah.
So you can't be worried
don't.
about what she over here doing.
Right.
So I'm proud of the big boom boom girl.
Yeah, because, I failed gym because of that.
Yes, she did.
Because I couldn't do the pull-ups. But nobody put extra weight on the other people. Like, I can't pull up. I can't sit up. I can't push. I was pushed up. It's just that everything else was still
pushed
tough.
up.
It was.
But at least you were trying, though.
That's all I'm saying.
That's
And
all we
Lizzo
can
was
say.
Just trying. She's just trying to be great and let that baby be great.
But if we just stop with all
Minding
of the
our
what we think,
business.
right? Because you was a dark-skinned woman. Imagine what you had to go through.
Yeah.
So if you're fat, if you're dark, if you're short, if you're too tall, if you're not, listen, let people be free to be who they are. That's just point blank. Be free to be who you are. Monique can only control what's going on with Monique.
Yeah.
So when you start asking me about other people, I can't really answer that because I don't know what's in their backyard or their front yard. And I think when it comes down to journalism and reporting and all of that, we look for trash to
Yeah.
discuss.
Yep.
And we never find the solution. So if you're comfortable in your skin, may your life be cut short because of whatever, that's you comfortable in your skin. Worry about your skin and what's going on with you and watch how it unfolds for everybody else. You don't have time focus on somebody else because you're so focused on how to make you the best you can be. Reach out and touch somebody.
Amen.
Put your,
Say
Put
it.
your mouth-
Put your mouth on it.
yes.
Put your mouth. Okay.
Yeah.
The
We've
slogan-
been discussing
the
mouth
slogan
zones
for
all morning.
2020. Look, I don't
and
want
I don't
no.
like it. I don't like that you have these beautiful black young men in here scared as we in here talking about sexual things. And you got these babies like, oh, no. You sexing?
No.
Oh, well,
Then
that's the
damn
problem.
shame.
Well, that's the
Then that's the
problem.
problem. Since
And
you're
look-
not doing nothing, you mad because they might be doing
My
something.
good- look,
You
they
got a
better
selfish
not
aunt.
be.
She's selfish in her spirit. I tell my nephews, go on, get that.
My
Bam,
goodness.
flex
Take
up
care
on
of
them.
yourself. That's right.
All right. Okay, so Miss Monique.
Yes, sweet.
All right, so let's talk about Netflix. I know everybody always wants to talk about it.
Yes.
So going back, that happened in 2018, right?
Yes.
Okay, so going back to that, do you think that after everything is said and done, do you see any improvement with what Netflix is doing now?
Here's what I would say to everybody that asks me that question. Put the numbers on the table. Don't get caught up in the perception of what you think it is. Oh, well, now we see the black women. Put the numbers on the table. Just put it, you know how in sports, they got to show the numbers because you see them actually
Yes,
doing it.
yes.
Well, in Hollywood, no numbers have to be shown because you can do what you choose to do with the numbers. So just put the numbers on the table and then we can have the discussion. That's the bottom line. Put the numbers on the table.
Now, with all the publicity that you got with that whole situation, do you think that that kind of overshadowed what you want your legacy to be, or is that what you want it to be for? Because for me, I saw it more as fighting for women to have equal pay, but I feel like people flipped that and they said, "Oh, well, Monique is just being difficult, and she's just causing problems." That's kind of what I felt like the media painted it out for you to be.
What do you think the media is going to paint a black woman out to be? And tell me the time that the black woman was valued in the media.
Absolutely.
Go.
No, they always paint us out to be very
Exactly.
difficult, and
So what happens is when you begin to ask me questions as if you don't know that, it's like we've got to start having the conversation to say, we know this is what this is, and stop. When black women talk to me as if they're not a black woman, it's like, well, I can guarantee you, you're not getting what you're supposed to be getting. I've sat behind a microphone too and did radio. So we have to start having the conversations that are real and that are open and honest, so that way we're not down looking at Monique, because there have black women that said, oh, Monique, you just being difficult. And I'm like, sister, tell me about your fair pay. And then when you don't know the history of us, it makes it even worse. You ever heard of a woman named Hazel Scott?
no, ma'am.
Exactly. See, that's what makes it worse for us, because we don't know our history. There was a woman named Hazel Scott, and please do your research because you're in the entertainment field. And this woman in her time was the highest paid black entertainer in the business. And when Hazel Scott, she was a pianist. And when Hazel Scott showed up, when Hollywood came calling, she said, I'll play, but I only play me. I play no other characters. When I show up, this is what has to happen. Now, that was back then. And when you understand what they did to Hazel Scott, because Hazel Scott was doing a film, and in this film, they were sending the black men off to war. And the director told the black women, you must dress in dirty aprons, and you must look ragged and worn down because you're so hurt that you're sending your men off. And that black woman said, no, they won't. No black woman would send her man off to war looking like that. And that white director pretty much told her, stay in your place. You worry about playing the piano. You don't tell me how to dress these black people, but he didn't use that word. And then that black queen said, until you change their clothes, I won't be showing back up. So she shut production down for 3 days, and that director had to cave in and give that black woman what she wanted. Now, she was blackballed from Hollywood for standing up for her people. And when you know the history, there was no line of people standing with her, and she was married to Adam Clayton Powell. So you would say, when did he go into the studios and fight for his black wife? So because of those black women and women like her is why I have to stand. I don't give a damn about what you think or what you say. I know what's right. So if you want to call me difficult, when have they not called a black woman difficult that took a stand? Her name is Fannie Lou Hamer. You heard of her?
Yes.
Her name is Ida B. Wells. You heard of her?
Of course,
Her
yes.
name is Shirley Chisholm. You heard of her?
Yes.
See, there's a line of us. Her name is Eartha Kitt. Her name is Grace Jones. There's a line of us that had to take that stand to say, I will not accept it. But then when you see those black women, you say, where were the people that stood with them? Where were their husbands? Where were their brothers? Where were those black men that stood with them? So right now in 2020, when it comes to Monique, and they see my husband standing with me, unwavering, and you have other black women saying, oh my goodness, and you have black men saying, oh, I said, because it looks unfamiliar to you. You've not seen a black man stand with his black woman and say, we're going to hold hands together and we're going to walk through it. You've not seen it. So when you ask me, did it get overshadowed?
Your legacy.
My legacy will be my children and my husband saying, you was a good woman and a good mother. We get caught up in what people think about us that don't know us. So when you ask me about my legacy, I want them to talk about the good damn macaroni and cheese I made from scratch that was vegan. I want my husband to talk about how we spooned in the middle of the night, and when he woke up 3 o'clock in the morning, he took me by my hand and held my hand. I don't give a damn about an acting legacy. That's unfair for me to get caught up in that. Let my legacy be with my family saying, that was a good woman right there, because if not, I've not done my job.
Amen to that. So for any woman, though, that's trying to fight for equal pay, what type of advice would you give her if she's too afraid to speak up for it?
Speak up. When you say if she's too afraid, you have to ask the question, what are you afraid of? But I'll say this too, when you have the juggernauts in our community that are still scared, when you have Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry and Will Packer and Steve Harvey, when you have these people that the community look to and say, oh, wow, but they're still fearful. What I say is, stop being fearful and start being fearless. Because when you have those black people that won't speak up and speak out, when they'll do it privately, but not do it publicly, that's why our community suffers the way it does. Because we'll say black power when ain't nobody watching. But as soon as them cameras come on, you got to throw away that integrity. I shouldn't talk like, okay.
Don't do the voice.
Go
don't
for
do
it,
the
like,
voice.
but
Don't
it's
do
a
the
safe
voice.
space.
Put the integrity to the side, because you get the bag. Well, now you got the bag. But what else do you have? So when it comes to us, and again, sister, I don't mean to go here with it, because we trying to sell a comedy show. We trying to sell tickets to ha and make you laugh. But when you see your community suffering the way that we're suffering, because we're chasing smoke and mirrors, and we're chasing fantasies, and we're listening to people that's not walk the walk, they're telling somebody else's story. Because how do you listen to someone that's telling you how to love and how to live and how to raise a family and how to be married, and you ain't never done none of it? How do you get that information? So I tell us, stop being so willing to grab onto what you think is stuff and start grabbing on the substance.
Absolutely. So
I need something to put up for that.
So with the way that you talk about, you know, the mood lighting. So when you talk about that and how, you know, just the way that you talk about the black family and your love for your husband and your family as well, Loni Love on The Real, she made some comments as well. And I know that you said that you can only speak for yourself.
Yes.
But what are your thoughts about how she said that black men black men are the only ones that can't be faithful? What are your thoughts about that comment that she made?
Let me say this first. I love Loni Love. And me and that sister go back a long time. We did Soul Plane together, baby. That's how far we go back.
Yeah.
That's how far
Don't
me
forget
and
about
Loni
Soul
go back,
Plane.
and I'm proud of my sister. However, I would have to ask Loni, give me the list of black men you talking about. Give me the list of the black men that's not done you right. Because when you generalize that, and the young lady tried to save her. She said, well, it's across the board. And Loni came back and said, no. Black men, well, tell us about your list. Because you got to be careful making statements like that when you now have a white man. And we respect your relationship. We were happy that you found love.
And especially the platform she's on as well.
Find love. But please, don't ever discount our black men. Because I know some good black men that's hanging in there with their families. I know some good black men that are single black daddies. I know some good black men, baby, that's going to the mat for their families. So please don't generalize our black men, because now you may have a white man, and that's a beautiful thing. But what is that white man telling you about a black man that made you so comfortable to speak about what our black men are not? Now, if you want to speak about what black men you've dealt with, then speak about them and give us lists. Give us the names. You ain't gonna look like no floozy. Give us the names of all the powerful black men you've been with. But don't generalize our black men to say what they are not, because I know some amazing black men. And one name is Sidney Hicks, which is my husband. Another name is Jonathan David and Michael Hicks, which are my sons. And I can give you a list of black men. George Wilborn, I know black men, baby, that's been in there with their families through the thick, the thin, the ugly, the crazy, and they done hung in there. So when you sit on that platform and you say most, I need to know who you're talking about. Now, if that's been your experience with your daddy and your uncles and your brothers, then say it. But when you say most and you sit on that platform, that touched my heart differently, because now you are speaking as the authority of what black men are and what they're not, and you have a white man. And that's fine if that's where you found love, baby. I'm not knocking that. Love don't come in a color or a gender. But you gotta be careful when you sit there and you make statements like that, because you can cloud people's mind when they see our black men. Because Lonnie Love said most black men, and then she said powerful. What was it?
She said when black men get power and money, that's when they feel like they
and I want to know
the most
what
unfaithful.
Black man she talking about with power. Tell me about him. What's his name? That she done been with.
I don't know.
Tell me about them black men. So we gotta be careful on what we put out into the universe, because now it's like you took a hammer and you said, "Here I come," boom. Well, now you've got to back that up. Explain yourself. Explain yourself. So I'll say this to all of my black men. You are exceptional. You are incredible. You are dynamic. You are the beginning. Without you, baby, I don't know what it would be. Black men, you are everything. Now we got some. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. We got some, baby, that you got to say.
All kinds of men are unfaithful.
Here,
It's not just the black men.
Let's put you in the truck, take you for a ride, and have a conversation. But we were talking about how I felt about the statement she made about black men.
Yes.
So I'm addressing our black men. Our black men are everything. From Timberland boots to the President of the United States when Barack sat in that office. From the brother on the bus stop to the brother in the Bentley. From the brother at Burger King to the brother that runs a 500 Fortune company. Our black men are everything. And as long as I have breath in my body, I'm going to always uplift and uphold our black men. Now, Tyler Perry is one of our black men, and I still love that brother. It's your character that's in question. It's your character. Some of our black men' character may be in question, but the strength of a black man is undeniable. And I won't let anyone, as long as I have breath,
I love you, Monique.
From our black men.
Would you ever go?
That to fill me up, baby. And it's great, bring tears to my eyes because they keep getting attacked. Our black men,
and
get
it's
attacked
not easy
from the
to be a
time
black.
they wake up to the time they go to bed.
And that's
we gotta
hard for
worry about
us.
are they coming back home because they might put their blinker on and turn the wrong way. We gotta worry about will there be a trigger happy white man that just on that day it was just the day to shoot one. We've got to have different kind of concerns. So for me, I'm going to lift them up, baby. When I see them, it's my duty to say, hey, black man, keep going. It's my duty to say that because they look back at me. Even the ones who said I was donkey of the day, like Charlemagne the God, I still love his crazy ass.
Leonard.
He just don't know no better. But when you have that platform and you sit behind a microphone and you put that poison into our communities and we keep asking ourselves, why can't we jump the hurdle? Why can't we get over? Because we have a hard time uniting and coming together.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
I get that because I feel like when we hear that statement and then we go home and look at our husbands in the face and I'm like, well, she ain't never met him.
Exactly.
So
I was
how can you
offended
not-
with her comments.
You've never met him. I got brothers. You've never met them. So that was hard. It's a tough pill to swallow for you to be the spokesperson and to generalize. And it's like, you ain't met them. Just say that you haven't met them.
And you got to see when we speak about Lonnie, and that's my sister. But I can remember listening to my sister on Chocolate City. I think that was the name of the
Yeah, I think that was her
podcast.
show. Yeah.
And it was her and two other sisters. It was her, another sister, and Juan Mary. MC Light was not there that day. And they were going in about how wrong and bad my husband was, and he was doing this. And I had to call them up and say, time out. Now tell me facts. See, black woman, you can't sit there and speak about all a black man is not. And you have no idea who this black man is. And when Lonnie and I came face to face, we hugged and she said, Monique, let me apologize. Because you're right, I don't know. So you still don't know. That's a very general conversation. And then you have to say to yourself, as my husband and I were talking, when you speak about all a black man is not due to slavery, well, let's talk about it. It was the white man that broke the black man up from his family. So now you've gone and got the white man who tore the black man from his family, but now you're going to speak about all the black man is not with his family. Don't do that. Just don't do that. That's all. And black women, let me say this to you if y'all listening. If you got a good one, love them. If you got a good one, throw away the poison that you're hearing about all a black man is not, baby, and love that black man for everything he is. And stop letting foolish statements determine who you think your man should be. See, when you have black women saying, I heard these two sisters doing a little banter back and forth, right? And a woman had wrote in and said, what do I do? Because my husband keeps giving me these gifts that I really don't like, but I don't know how to tell him that I don't like the gifts. So these two women, one of the women said, oh, well, we don't do gifts. So that just stops all that right there. We don't even do no gifts, so just don't do gifts at all. And the other woman said, right, I mean, just cut that out. And those two women was Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King.
Neither one of them are married.
So we're going to give advice to a woman that is married. And you ask yourself, how do you do that? Because what I would have said to that sister is, hey, baby, it's called honest conversation. It's called saying, hey, you know what, boo? Let me show you what I like. So that way, you know, because I know you be out there and you be really trying to bring your mama something home that you know I'm going to like, my baby. But these little slippers right here, you keep getting them in a 5, and I'm in 11. Okay, so you notice I'm not wearing them, but have the open conversation. But instead it was, just don't do no gifts. Well, do you know how much that's separating us, in my humble opinion?
Yeah.
When you have a woman saying, I put on my lingerie, and I stood at the top of the steps, and when my man walked by, he bust out laughing and said, what you doing? But that same woman is telling you how to be in a relationship. That was Oprah Winfrey when she said she put on her lingerie, and Stedman came up the steps, and he bust out laughing and said, what you doing? And kept walking. So we got to be careful who's feeding our soul. Super Soul Sunday. On the next master class.
You know what?
I'm a comedian, damn it.
True.
And look, we didn't even talk about your show at the Improv this weekend.
Right, because you wanted to be a specialist and do a 60-minute,
But Monique,
serious conversation.
Monique, I love talking to you.
I love talking
I could
to you,
hear,
my baby.
just talk. I just hours and hours. I want you to have your talk show back again.
And I want y'all to understand something. I'm still being raised myself. I'm still learning myself. So when I tell sisters, listen, don't come to me talking about what's the answer. I can just tell you my experience. I can't tell you the answer, baby, because what works for Monique may not work for you. I can just tell you my experience. If
you can
ask
guide
me
us
about being married or having children. But if you ask me about, Monique, what was it like jumping off of Mount Rushmore? I couldn't tell you because I've never jumped. I've never been. So we got to be careful who's feeding us if they've never walked the path that they're trying to tell us how we should walk on it.
Talk about it.
Now I'm going to talk about some other things tonight because I got some spicy things on my heart.
You got some colorful things.
What is the show called? What is this tour called? Let the Truth Be Told.
That's what we're going to do.
And damn it, I'm telling it. Now they already mad with me, buddy. Okay? They mad. They still mad.
They still mad.
Well, let them be mad because I know a lot of people are going to come out and see you tonight and then also tomorrow. You don't have a Sunday show, right?
Baby, the Sunday is for Jesus.
Sunday is for
Sunday
Jesus.
Is for the Redskins. And them too.
Sunday is for Jessa.
And San Francisco.
What's happening in San Francisco?
I just like the colors of the 49ers. Thank you very much.
Well, y'all know the Ravens going to take the whole Super Bowl, so we can stop all this ridiculousness right now. And
You do know that you're in
Kansas
Chiefs
City.
Kingdom, though, Monique.
I am, and we're going to win Sunday. The Chiefs is going to win Sunday. I'm telling you right now, they're going to win Sunday. But when they come up against the Ravens, baby, what y'all know about me? I ain't no punk. I ain't backing down.
Well, we aren't either with our Patrick
Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Have a snowball fight with me this weekend after the comedy shows. Okay,
We're doing it in the back of the club.
We're doing it.
Because that snow is going to come, so we're the boots with the fur.
But they know it. Y'all are no stranger to the snow. So strap it up, come out and laugh. That's what we gonna do. Cause we got tonight.
We got tonight is
tomorrow.
the night.
7 o'clock and 10.
Wait, don't look at me like that.
Throw me a snowball. You said you'd be gentle with me, and I
come
what?
on. I hope you will.
Better tell them.
Cause I'm throwing and I'm winning.
See, here she go.
Waiting for y'all to come in. Try hard to relax.
But what happened?
But I
You what?
just can't keep saying.
This weekend at the Improv, make sure you come and see Monique. ImprovKC.com to get your tickets. Tonight, 7 o'clock and 10. Saturday, 7:30 and 10:30. Monique.
7:30 and 10.
7:30 and 10.
Right, sugar. Now listen here.
Monique said,
You
"Get it
gonna
right."
Have the special reports, right? Because I see where you're going, and I like it.
Well, thank you, Monique.
I
Thank
see where you're going
you.
with it, and
Thank
I like
you.
it.
Thank you,
I really
Monique.
do. But okay, we're here for comedy.
We're here for
You
comedy.
took me on a
I
goddamn
know, but I
Barbara
haven't seen you in a few.
Didn't she take me there?
Monique, I haven't seen you in 2
Barbara Walters
years.
would get right up on your face and say, "Let me ask you something." But I respect you for it, my baby girl, because most people don't have those kind of conversations. So keep going, sweetness.
Thank you, Monique.
Keep
I haven't
going.
seen you in a long
See, y'all
time.
gotta understand. When I first met this baby, she was interning.
I was.
When I first met this baby, she was not on the radio. She was getting coffee. She was making
cleaning out the
copies.
vans.
You was doing all of that, and then every little time they was asking, "Give her a little bit," and my baby come on with a little bit, and now it's your show.
It is.
Look how powerful words are,
Amen to that. Thank you, Monique.
and it's a black man who put you in that position.
Yes,
Can we
it
talk
was.
about that?
Yes,
it's
it was.
a black man who set you in that position. It's a powerful black man that put you in that position. Can we talk about it?
Yes, it was. Yes,
Yes,
it was.
don't knock a black man, baby, not unless you've been with all of them. And if you've been with all of them, that's called horn.
Well, now wait a
And
minute.
that don't make you bad. That don't make you bad. That just make you friendly.
Go see Monique this weekend at the Improv. Monique, you know you're always welcome here.
love
It's a
you, baby
family
girl.
reunion. I love you too, Monique.